The American Psychological Association reported that 60% of Americans have problems sleeping. As humans, we require sleep every single day. By the end of my speech, you will have a much clearer idea of how sleep causes and affects your everyday life. The main points I will be covering in my speech are the 5 stages of sleep that your brain goes through while sleeping. My second point covers napping during the day. My third and final point will cover sleep disorders, focusing on insomnia. The Journal of Adolescent Health did a study in 2013 looking at the effect of bedtime and sleep length and how they affect academic and emotional outcomes in adolescents. They found that 73% of students don't get enough sleep and that summertime sleep schedules strongly affect their sleep schedules during school. When we sleep, it happens 5 stages where your brain cycles through while sleeping. First visual aid. Stages of sleep. First stage of sleep happens when we close our eyes to initially go to sleep. In the first stage, breathing patterns regulate as well as our heart rate. Even though you are technically sleeping, you are very easily woken up, feeling like you are not even sleeping. There are 2 periods that occur during the first stage, known as alpha and theta. The stage of alpha can be obtained through not just sleep, but through meditation as well. Sometimes we experience a sensation of falling, which is just a simple muscle contraction. Theta then occurs. This is the middle ground of being awake and asleep. The second stage of sleep is when your body begins preparing for a night's sleep. The body temperature lowers and creates the right temperature for a long sleep. Our brain procedures sleep spindles. Generating the thalamus, sleep spindles produce fast and rhythmic waves in our brains to keep us asleep throughout the night. Third stage of sleep is the true transition between a light sleep and a full deep sleep. Our brain begins to produce much slower waves called delta waves. Delta waves change and transition with us as we age for infants. Delta waves are the most dominant. Infants spend the majority of their sleep time in a deep sleep. As we get older, delta waves reduce, and by age 75, delta waves can diminish entirely. The fourth stage of sleep is also referred to as delta sleep. Even though delta waves begin in the third stage, they are much more prominent in the fourth stage. In the fourth stage, you are in a very deep sleep. Things like bedwetting and sleepwalking are a very common occurrence at the end of the fourth stage of sleep. The fifth and final stage is classified as REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. REM sleep is characterized by our eyes rapidly moving back and forth, scanning and creating dreams. The brain is much more active, but your muscles become so relaxed that they essentially become paralyzed. The fifth stage is where almost all dreams occur. The paralyzation happens to protect yourself from hearing yourself during a dream. For college students, sleep is scarce at times, and many people nap during the day to catch up on sleep from the night before. When I nap during the day, I usually wake up at 2 2.5 hours later feeling more sluggish than I was before taking the nap. For cognitive memory processing, a 45-minute nap is perfect. Napping for a long time can cause the brain to go into third and fourth stage of sleep, which prepares your body for a full night's sleep. But napping for 45 minutes, your brain stays in the second stage, so when you wake up, you feel refreshed. Second visual aid. Dr. Sarah Mendick's Take a Nap Wheel. Dr. Sarah Mendick teaches at UC San Diego and specializes in the field of napping. An article from UCSB Grad Post notes her creation and calls it the Take a Nap Wheel. You can access it online and it is very useful. Here's how it works. Drag the dial to the time that you woke up that day. In this example, the wake-up time is at 3 a.m. or 10 a.m. You then follow the diagram clockwise to find the point in the day where REM sleep and slow wave sleep cross each other. In this case, that time is about 3:30 p.m. This is the time in our brains where REM sleep and slow wave sleep are equally proportioned due to your time of waking up. So this time is when the perfect nap will occur. If you wake up at 10 a.m. and take a nap before 3:30, your nap will still have prominent REM waves. If you wake up at 10 a.m. and take a nap after 3:30, you will have more slow wave sleep. In the chart, the perfect nap time, if you wake up at 5 a.m., is 12:30. You wake up at 6 a.m., 1:15, 7 a.m., 2, and so on. 85% of mammals are polyphasic sleepers. This means that they sleep for 2 consistent periods during the day. However, humans are the 15% minority that are not polyphasic sleepers, but monophasic sleepers. This means that we have 2 solid periods of the day, one where we are asleep and one where we are awake. Sleep is not a simple nightly ordeal for some. Many people suffer from sleep disorders. Sleep disorders are medical disorders characterized by problems in the patterns of sleeping. Insomnia is a main sleep disorder that lies on a large spectrum, varying in severity. Insomnia affects people of all ages. However, it is most prominent in the elderly. Some telltale signs of insomnia noted by the University of Maryland Medical Center in the article of 2013 are having trouble falling asleep, trouble waking up too early, waking up multiple times in the night, and sporadic sleep. Only 10% of adults are recorded to have insomnia, but the wide spectrum affected many more. Sleep is a daily occurrence for us all, but there is endless science and facts behind how and why we sleep. My speech covered the stages of sleep, napping, and sleep disorders.